Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to an all-new edition of War Week Radio. Guys, if you're listening to this show on Sunday night, it means only one thing. We're seeking the counsel of five-decade fight trainer James Gogue. But, guys, before we introduce our featured guest of the evening, we do have to remind everyone that this show is brought to you by, always, by thefightsaga.com. Guys, for all the latest boxing news, please bookmark and frequent the homepage of fightsaga.com, your centralized hub for all the latest boxing news wires. But, guys, this is big fight week. So if you've never heard this gentleman break down a fight before, boy, you're in for a real treat. He's going to be breaking down tonight Ramirez versus Taylor. So, guys, we're seeking the counsel this evening of the one and only Mr. James Gogue. James, how the heck are you this evening, my friend?
Hey, Joe, I'm doing good. We had some good fights last night, and we're going to have a potential Fight of the Year candidate coming up this Saturday that we're going to be talking about. So, yeah, it's May. It's been real good so far. You know, Canelo last week, or, you know, then this week, Brandon Figueroa's great win. The next week, you know, Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez for all the marbles.
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget the PVC pay-per-view. And I know it didn't do very good numbers. It only reported in 125,000 purchases. But the fight card for Ruiz versus Areola didn't disappoint and was a lot more entertaining than most people thought it was going to be. This has truly been a great month for the sport of boxing. To all the naysayers and detractors who said boxing was on its way out, boy, it's come back with a vengeance, and we should see the culmination of, a great one this Saturday night, guys. And Coach Gogue's going to break this one down, and it happens May 22nd. Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor, scheduled for 12 rounds for Jose's WBC, WBO titles and Josh's WBA, IBF titles. This is for all the marbles at 140 pounds. Gogue, how rare is this, brother? Two undefeated fighters in their prime in a four-belt unification.
Hey, Joe, when's the last time there's been a unification bout with all the belts on the line? I can't remember. Do you know?
No, but we're getting several this year, apparently. We might be getting one in September for Canelo and Plant. We're going to get one in the heavyweight division, the very first in history in the four-belt era, a four-belt unification with Joshua versus Fury. Fury just came out and said it was official for August 14th. And, guys, we're getting one this Saturday. This is truly going to be an historic year for the sport of boxing. Once again, all of this narrative that boxing is on its way out, Dana White is saying, oh, look at boxing is taking a nosedive and it's going in that direction south. But when you look at the numbers being produced, not only by the exhibition matches, but you look at the great matchups and the historic events that are already being planned and they're on the schedule, this is truly going to be another breakout year, in my opinion, when everything is all said and done. And, guys, I can't wait for this one. This is going to be an historic event. May 22nd, Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor. First of all, Gogue, let's rattle things off. Let's rattle off the tail of the tape for the southpaw from the United Kingdom, the Tartan Tornado. Guys, he's going to come into the ring at age 30. He fights out of the southpaw stance. He stands 5'10" tall in the center of the ring, fights behind a 70-inch reach. From Edinburgh, Scotland, out of the UK, he comes into the ring with a perfect record, 17 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 13 big wins coming by way of knockout. Gogue, what are the pros and cons of the Tartan Tornado?
Joe, everybody says he's a southpaw, but he could go both ways. He's a skilled switch hitter, okay? All right, he could box. Look, man, this guy got a lot of dimensions to his game that Ramirez doesn't, okay? This guy could box if he wants it, you know, from the right-handed position or the left-handed position, from range and distance, okay? But his preference, he has that aggressive physical mindset. He likes to fight, okay? there's just, he likes to battle. Okay, that's his temperament, Joe. That's his personality. He likes to fight in the trenches, and he likes to use his physical, his size and physical strength to just maul you. Okay, and he does it with good skill level, Joe, especially from the south opposition. He's a beautiful body puncher in the pocket. For the left uppercuts, some right hooks to the body, them left uppercuts on top, followed by the left hooks. He's a good combination puncher from the southpaw position. What do you call it, Joe? Right-handed, he could too. He could fight inside the pocket if he has you right-handed too, Joe. Okay, he could switch back and forth in the pocket, not only from range but in the pocket. So he's a mentally tough. He has a highly competitive spirit to win, high will to win. He's got that, like I said, he's got that mean and nasty temperament. You know what I mean? So what do you call it? When the fight's tough, he's gonna fight down and battle. Okay? Joe, he's got all the attributes of a world champion. Okay, but like I said, Joe, his ability to go back and forth, switch it, to fight in the pocket or at range and distance. And, an Olympian like Ramirez and, Joe, big amateur pedigree and all that stuff. He's in his prime, Joe. Yeah. This kid, like I said, it's going to be hard for Jose Ramirez to overcome all those attributes that Josh Taylor has.
Indeed. So up to this point, and what's really impressive about Josh is when he was in the World Series of Boxing, you look at his path of progress, it's very impressive. Starting back in 2018, wins over Victor Postal, Ryan Martin, Ivan Baranchik, Regis Prograis. Wow, and he's been battle-tested, and, it should fare him well in this fight. Up to this point, do you see any potential weaknesses or chinks in the armor, Gogue?
Gets hit, his defense, okay? Because of his aggressive temperament, always wants to go on the offense, okay? He likes knockouts, Joe, okay? Mm-hmm. Guys like that, they leave themselves
God bless him for it.
Yeah. Guys like that leave themselves open for for their opponent's offensive combinations coming at him. Okay, that to me, Joe, that would be his biggest weakness is over aggressiveness and lack of defense at times. He makes some stupid mistakes, Joe. You know what I mean? Sometimes he's over aggressive and he's trading with the guy. When you trade with a guy, you're going to get nailed back. Okay, there's intelligent ways to attack your opponent, to get you hit less. But he's the kind of guy that just tries to maul you, overpower you. I'm bigger, stronger, and badder than you, and stop me if you can. But when you got that kind of mentality, that aggressive style offense, and doesn't like Yori Boy Campus, Alfredo Angulo, you're going to get hit a lot, and that's pretty much his biggest weakness I see.
Yep. Well, he's going to catch some incoming in this Saturday night. That's for certain. But will it be enough, guys? Let's look at the tape of Jose Ramirez. The Jaguar comes into the ring at age 28. He fights out of the orthodox stance. He stands 5'10" tall in the ring as well. He fights behind a 72-inch reach, although you wouldn't know it because of his style. From Avenal, California. He comes into the ring with a perfect record, 26 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 17 big wins coming by way of knockout. What's good about the Jaguar, Jose Ramirez?
It's basically like Taylor. They both got the same temperament. They like to fight. Okay, they both have that aggressive physical mindset. Okay, Ramirez, big amateur background like Taylor, Olympian, 2012. In fact, I used to follow him in the amateurs. He was a top, USA national champion, junior Olympic champion, and all that stuff, Joe. So I used to, I'm very familiar with him and everything. But his offense is his biggest attribute. is volume of combinations he throws at you, Joe. Okay, head, body, head. He puts his combinations together real good, and he's since he turned pro. He's learned to be patient and what do you call it? Skillful and more tactical when he attacks you. Whether when he just turned pro, he was just wild and aggressive, and you know what I mean, Joe. He wasn't making every punch count, wasting punches and stuff like that. Don't he was like an amateur trying to the point scoring system. Try to what do you call it? Accumulate those points. But now he's more methodical. He's more tactical. He thinks more. He's slow. He's more calm. Okay, before he attacks. But when he does attack, boy, yeah, he lets his combinations go, Joe. Yeah, like I said, he loves, like Taylor, he loves going to the body to break you down and everything, to break your will, to take your legs away. And that's, like I said, Joe, he's well-conditioned, well-disciplined. You know what I mean? He's not one of them guys like Adrian Broner, you know what I mean, Joe? As soon as he fights, he's out partying, letting his weight get 40, 50 pounds, over his fighting weight. He's the kind that, he's a professional. He stays, I'm pretty sure he stays, in top shape between fights, okay? He worked on improving his craft. He's a total pro, like the executioner of Bernard Hopkins, Joe. Yeah, so, yeah, it's, you got two guys that are similar in temperament, but one of them has more, one of them in Josh Taylor brings more dimensions to his game.
Indeed. Well, we'll see if that's the difference maker this Saturday night. Gogue, what are the keys to victory for Josh Taylor coming over across the pond and fighting in the backyard of Jose Ramirez? What does he have to do to come away with the big victory and become the man at 140 pounds?
Fight intelligently, okay? Don't be reckless with this guy Ramirez. If he thinks he's going to overpower him like he did Regis Prograis, forget about it. It ain't going to happen, man. Ramirez, he's got that temperament. He's got that toughness, and he's a combination puncher, to get Josh Taylor's, attention. And you know what I mean, Joe? He'll prevent Josh Taylor from trying to back him up. Okay? He has that ability to, Ramirez, he has that ability to halt Taylor's forward pressure, okay, in his tracks and everything. So what he's got to do, he's got to fight tactically, intelligently. Me, I go both ways. I fight for right-handed, work off my jab real good, just to get, give him that look. Then I switch over to southpaw, the same thing, give him that look. A step, sometimes Ramirez, he gets over-aggressive, okay? He lunges, so I step back and counter him, okay? I capitalize over Ramirez's mistakes he makes by being over-aggressive and just counter him, okay? Stuff like that, Joe. That's one thing he could do. Work that jab effectively, okay, to control Ramirez at range, to control the fight. But his best work, to me, Joe, is going to be in the pocket, okay? He could go right-handed, but his best work is going to be at the southpaw position in the pocket. Why? Because when you're fighting in the pocket from the southpaw position, you're fighting a right-handed fighter, punches are coming from different angles that Ramirez ain't going to see, okay? That right hook, the right uppercuts, the left uppercuts. And, Joe, Taylor, sometimes he just throws punches, man. A lot of them have no meaning. He doesn't. Sometimes he don't make his punches count. Sometimes he does now when he throws some beautiful body shots. So, Joe, he's got to be like an offensive coordinator in that ring when he's at the, when he's in that southpaw position, and find the right plays that are going to work to penetrate Jose Ramirez's defense. Meaning, he's got to throw the right combinations, Joe, that are going to be effective. Me personally, Joe, when you fight a guy like Ramirez, he's right there. He doesn't move his head inside. I grip him with the left uppercut. I whip him with the right uppercut. Okay, I whip him. I come around. I hit him with punches from all angles. That left hook, that sweeping short left hook, over the top at his temple. Then I come back with a right uppercut. I attack his body. then I go back to his head. Hit his body, then come back with the uppercuts up the middle. That always works. See, Joe, remember I told you got to have the right offensive game plan. The right offensive game plan meaning you got to throw the right combinations that are going to be effective. Okay? Now, you see these motherfuckers nowadays when they just throw a bunch of punches and, you know what I mean, when they get inside. And none of them mean shit. Okay? Just one punch doesn't lead to the other. That's what I'm trying to say. Another combination which works good is that straight left hand, that right hook, then come back with that right uppercut. That left hand, the right hook, then it's going to open up that right uppercut inside. Always works, Joe. Or that right hook, that right uppercut, then come back to that left uppercut to the body. Like Brandon Figueroa did last night to that bitch, Nery. You know, he hit him with that short right hook. He hit him with that short right hook, then came back with that left uppercut inside. See, Joe, one punch leads to the other. That right hook to the head set up that right uppercut to Larry's liver, and made him quit like a bitch. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's what I mean, Joe. There's all kinds of combinations you can put together that can be effective against Ramirez from the southpaw position. Oh, another thing, when you're at medium range, Joe, okay, you're not in close range, I throw that straight left hand to the body. Just like Shakira Stevenson does at a long range. Or Jamel Herring when he fought Frampton. Frampton didn't get close.
Super effective.
Get nailed by that straight left hand to the head and straight to the body. Okay? I throw that straight left hand, a lot. Then come back with a right hook to the top. Remember, Joe? One punch leads to the other. That straight left hand is going to open up that right hook to the head. Then come back with a left uppercut. Straight left hand, right hook to the head, and guess what, Joe? That left uppercut should land. See, Joe, that's being intelligent when you put your combinations together, Joe. If every smart offensive fighter that knows how to put his combinations together, they know, it's not just about throwing a million punches. Okay, it's having the right game plan, the right the right combination package. What I'm trying to say, which is going to be effective in penetrating Ramirez's defense, which basically is just keeping his damn hands up. You know what I mean? Okay, and that to me, Joe, that's what I would take advantage. Okay, break his ass down with body shots too. When you're a left-hander, Joe, also, and you're fighting in the pocket, I always say that do the Lomachenko. Keep your lead leg outside of Ramirez's lead leg to control. To get that angle, so you can pivot around them. Okay, throw your combinations instead of taking return fire. Step around them, pivot around them. Okay, so what you have when you're a southpaw is if you're smart, okay, you could always try to gain the battle of that lead leg placement. Keep it outside of Ramirez's lead leg, and therefore, Joe, you can attack at angles by pivoting and hitting them at angles, or ripping them body shots, coming back with a hook to the head, then pivoting around them, okay? You understand, Joe? Just like I call it the Lomachenko. No one does it better than Vasil. Or Usyk. Usyk does a damn good job. See, Joe, Usyk and Lomachenko, they've been trained very well when they were amateurs about making sure their lead leg is outside their opponent's lead leg so they can have the advantage of pivoting around their opponent and attacking them at angles. And that's what I'm trying to say. What Taylor could do is fighting smart, okay, Joe, intelligently, okay? Then, you know what I mean? And has so many dimensions in this game. But to me, a good jab, you know what I mean, will dictate all this. Once he has his jab going, okay, he can start doing everything I just talked about. He can start setting up his inside game. He can start setting up his outside game. But a good jab, it's back to fundamentals, Joe. That jab is number one. It's the easiest punch to throw in boxing. It's the most effective if you know how to do it.
Indeed. Well, we'll see if he follows your keys to victory on Saturday night. And I tell you what, he definitely has the arsenal to do it. Creative combination punching in the pocket, immense physical and mental durability as well. Those intangibles should serve him well in this fight. So what are the keys to victory for Jose Ramirez? It almost seems like it's a carbon copy of Josh Taylor.
It's like It's like I say, old timers told me this a long time ago. When you fight a southpaw, it's like fighting yourself in the mirror. Okay, Joe? And basically, he's just got to do the opposite. Now, Ramirez can't box from range. He's not an effective boxer from range, a guy that moves and all that shit. Ramirez can't go southpaw if he has to in the pocket. I haven't seen that yet. Okay, but from the right-handed position, okay, he still could be effective. Now, what does he got to do? Same thing. That's the exact opposite Taylor has to do. Okay, keep his lead leg outside of Taylor's lead leg so he can pivot around him. See, fans out there listening, if you keep your lead leg inside your opponent's lead leg and you're right-handed, you're right in the direct line of the fire. You're right in the direct line of fire for that straight left hand hit you right in your lead leg. Ramirez has to keep his lead leg outside of Taylor's lead leg, and also to pivot around him and where he could attack at angles. The same exact strategy, but from the right-handed position. Now the combinations to work on the southpaw, same thing. The uppercuts, the hooks, then come back with a left uppercut. Remember, Joe? One punch leads to the other. That uppercut, the left hook, and you come back with a left uppercut, it's going to land. Okay? Okay, it opens that up. Okay? Them body shots. Okay? The right uppercuts to the body. Ramirez doesn't have a problem throwing. Some fighters, they don't feel comfortable throwing left hooks to the liver. Ramirez doesn't have a problem. When he fought Mike Reed, that's how he broke him down with them left hooks to the liver. So, yeah, Ramirez, the body shots, uppercuts to the midsection. Taylor, sometimes he tries to maul you, and tries to, be a bully. He squares up inside. So what about I'd be fucking nailing him with the right uppercuts to the stomach. Okay? The Lexus Arguero combination. The left hook to the head, come back with the right uppercut to the stomach. Same thing Brandon Figueroa did. The right hook to the head, come back with that left uppercut, which made, Luis Nery quit. The same exact thing, but the opposite. Left hook, right uppercut to the midsection, then, you know what, he's going to have to put his combinations together. He can't be throwing one or two punches. He's going to have to put that, that left hook to the head, right uppercut to the chin, then come back with a left hook, right hand to the head. He's got to put his combinations in 4, 5, 6 punch combinations, okay, Joe, to get that advantage over him, to get that advantage of Taylor, okay? He's got to out-punch Taylor in the pocket, but do it intelligently. Remember, Joe, like I said, he's got to be an intelligent offensive coordinator in the pocket, finding the right combinations that are going to work against Taylor. The same ones that are going to be effective with Taylor using, he could use the same exact ones. The key is who has the lead leg outside of each other. If Taylor dominates that lead leg outside, I think he could do. He has more options. He could work at angles. You know what I mean? He could. The punches are going to be coming from different angles. Oh yeah. And Ramirez, same exact thing. The uppercut hook straight right hand works beautiful on a left-hander. Okay. The uppercuts, hooks, come back with the left uppercuts work beautiful. Okay. The uppercut hook to the body, come back hook to the head, straight right hand, hook, straight right hand. Oh, man. Yeah, Joe, just put them together, 4 or 5. He's going to have to out-punch this motherfucker, okay? But the thing is, he's also got to be defensively responsible and don't go offensively aggressive. Because what happens when you do that, Joe? You're going to get hit, okay? He's got to pick his spots. That's one thing I like about Ramirez. He does that better. Instead of when he turned pro, he was just throwing punches like a crazy amateur. Okay, and when he turned, he was just like a chicken with his head cut off. Now, over the years, he's learned to settle down, be more calm, more tactical, more intelligent in his approach with his combinations. Okay, and when he, if he hurts you a little bit, boy, that Ramirez is like it's like a shark that smells blood. He's all over you throwing combinations, man. So. But that's what it is, Joe. This fight ain't gonna be won at distance. It's gonna be who's the better fighter in the trenches, okay? And who's the smarter one, okay, Joe? Who makes the better adjustment? All right. Of course, you ain't gotta worry about both guys' courage, their balls, their mental toughness, their resiliency, their mental intestinal fortitude, that shit's all there. Okay? What's going to win it is making the adjustments, the game planning, okay? Changing up your game plan, okay? Meaning, your combinations. You got to change up your combinations. You got to change up your defense, okay? If you're getting if Ramirez is getting hit by that straight left hand, it's usually because his lead leg is inside the lead leg of Taylor, okay? If he's getting hit by that left uppercut, it's usually because he's over-aggressive lunging in, okay? So what you got to do, you got to make that adjustment. Calm down. Where's that left leg? Where's his lead leg at? Try to get it outside of Ramirez, Taylor's lead leg, so he doesn't get hit by the left uppercuts. That straight left hand. See, Joe, it's not about just throwing punches. You got to work. Hey, the guy's gonna fire back too. Taylor just ain't gonna sit there and take those punches. Okay. And Taylor's going for the knockout, and so is Ramirez. That's why this fight is gonna be a barn burner. Both guys are in tremendous physical condition. Both guys are, they paid the price. They made all the sacrifices in camp. Both guys want to be the undisputed junior welterweight champ of the world. Okay. Both guys want the big money fights in the future. Okay. Possibly a showdown with a multi-million-dollar fight with Terrence Crawford or Teofimo Lopez. That's what he's got to do, Joe. He's just got to outpunch this motherfucker. Okay, well, instead of just throwing 2 or 3, he's got to put them together 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, but do it at the opportune moment. And like I said, Joe, just don't throw punches. Make every punch count with the right combinations. You understand, Joe?
Absolutely, sir, and I'm looking forward to a great one this Saturday.
Or am I too technical?
Gogue, over the years, I've learned so much just from listening to you every Sunday. So, no, and I'm sure a lot of our diehard fans of this show have learned exactly the same thing. And, yeah, we follow everything, Gogue. And I tell you what, you're a credit to the sport, brother. Thank you so much for all of your tutelage over the past, it's been almost a decade since we started working together, hasn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes I talk boxing and I get kind of overchecked. I try to keep it simple as possible so the fans out there can understand. It's like you talk to somebody in football, they're explaining, they're explaining. You talk to an offensive coordinator, he's explaining to you how to attack a certain defense, and you're just kind of like lost with the terminology and everything. So I do my best just to keep everything simple as possible. And when I'm trying to explain everything, to get the fans out there that are listening to, put in their mind what I'm talking about. Like when I say throw that left hook to the head, come back with that right hook to the head, and it's going to lead to that left uppercut. You can throw that left hook to the head, right hook to the straight left hook to the head, right upper followed by the right hook to the head, and come back with a right uppercut to the chin. It's going to land all the fucking time, man. Okay? It's always going to land. I love that combination. These are classic, crisp, compact combinations. The great Mexican champion strove. Chavez, okay? Oliveras, okay? Just, you know what I mean? Barrera, Morales, you know what I mean? They love them. Danny Roman, he was beautiful last night with that left uppercut. That guy was eating left uppercuts like I eat Cheetos, Joe. That guy eats fire. Roman looked tremendous last night, Roman. Okay, but anyway, like
Absolutely.
I said, you got to find.
Well, we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But Gogue, I tell you, go ahead, sir.
You got to find the combinations that are going to work in a fight. Okay, so okay.
Yep, but unlike Ricardo Espinoza Franco last night, I expect either man in this matchup to be able to make the adjustments.
Yeah.
Boy, that was one tough piece of meat, and we'll talk about that in the back half of the show. But, Gogue, it's time, brother, to talk about the odds and you get your final prediction. For the reasons that you just specified in your pros and cons, it looks like the bookies as well as the fans. And the book that we always recommend going to is the Bet MGM out of Vegas. They have currently Josh Taylor listed as the healthy favorite at a -225. That's better than 2-1 odds. And Jose Ramirez as the very live underdog at +185. Are you a bit surprised that it's this wide and not any tighter, or is this right on the money, sir?
I think it's right on the money, and the reason why is because what's given Taylor that separation is he brings more to the table. He has more variation to his game. Like I said, he can fight right or left-handed from all ranges. That's the difference. They all got the same mentally. Mental resilience, mental toughness, courage, balls, they both got that. Conditioning, they got that. Now, what else attributes do they bring to the table? Okay? Taylor brings more to the table because of his ability to go right-handed or left-handed. His ability to box right-handed or left-handed. His ability to fight in the pocket right-handed or left-handed, okay? Now, he just got to, like I said, for him to get that separation in this fight, he just got to fight an intelligent, tactical fight, throwing the right combinations and having a good game plan when he's not being on the offense. Okay, Joe? Instead of just taking punches like that punching bag last night, Ricardo Espinoza, who loved blocking punches with his face.
Well, I tell you what, there's so many different intangibles and variables that could come into play here, like how both fighters have actually how have their camps been. Have you heard anything, Gogue, from the Camp Garcia, from Jose Ramirez? Has he had a healthy camp? Because I've heard, I don't know if this is just idle rumor, but I've heard that it's been, somewhat of a tough camp for Jose Ramirez. Have you heard the same?
I haven't heard nothing. I mean, what do you mean, injuries, or what do you mean tough?
They weren't specific, and I'm not going to disclose who I heard it from.
All right, well.
But I heard it was somewhat of a tough camp. It hasn't been an easy camp for Ramirez, so we'll see, guys. Now, keep in mind, he actually suffered from COVID several months ago. He caught COVID, right? So we'll see if it has any lingering effects for some fighters. Jorge Linares, we're going to see if, because he was hospitalized for COVID, we'll see if it has any lingering effects like it did with Alexander Povetkin against Dillian Whyte. COVID seemingly had a big effect on his performance in the rematch with Dillian Whyte. Is this going to be a factor? Was it a factor in camp? We'll find out on Saturday night, just as we will on May 29th, if Jorge Linares has any lingering effects from COVID, because, that's been a huge detriment to specific fighters. We'll see. Gogue, also, Josh Taylor, something to keep in mind, guys. He's only fought outside of the UK 3 times in his 17 pro bouts, and this one is at a much higher level. Keep in mind, at the World Series of Boxing, he fought in the UK the entire time when facing Victor Postal, Ryan Martin, Ivan Barancic, and Regis Prograis. Will it be a factor coming over to Vegas? We'll find out, guys, on Saturday night. But, Gogue, it's time for your official prediction. Who's going to win this fight on Saturday night between Ramirez and Taylor?
I love Ramirez, man. I like him a lot, but I'm favoring Taylor because, like I said, he brings more variation to the game, to the plate, which is going to give him that separation he needs to win the fight. So, I like Jose. Hopefully he wins and pulls the upset. I mean, he's a nice guy, a real gentleman. Okay, a real good, classy guy. But if I had to put my money on it, I wouldn't bet on the motherfucker. Okay.
It's hard to bet against Taylor leading up to this point, and So we'll see what happens, guys, but it's going to be one for the books. May 22nd, live from Vegas, Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor for all the marbles at 140 pounds. Gogue, I tell you what, one thing that really worries me about this, Gogue, and these are, once again, intangibles. You look at the change in culture. I don't see it really affecting this fight because of the mentality of both guys. But like in last night, as well in previous bouts lately, there's been a change in culture where fighters, well, they don't see anything wrong with quitting when the going gets tough. Also, we've been seeing referees very quick to pull the trigger and call a halt to the bout when things get tough because of liability purposes. Obviously, precedences with the New York State Athletic Commission having to pay out millions of dollars to the family of Magomed Abdusalamov. It's caused state athletic commissions to be, well, a lot more conservative and not as liberal when calling a halt to the bout and protecting the safety of these young fighters. Do you see that potentially being a factor this Saturday night?
Hell no. They're going to let them fight, okay? Hey, Joe, the reason they do that, referees to stop a fight early because they know one guy is being, it's a mismatch. They know the other guy is that much better. But in a tough fight like this, nah, man. Nah, don't let them fight. They're going to go through the fire, just like Mickey Ward, Arturo Gatti, Diego Corrales, Castillo, the first fight. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, Joe, this fight has all the, ingredients to be a fight of the year candidate. Now, what's the leading fight of the year candidate this year, Joe?
Chocolatito versus Estrada 2, the rematch.
Oh, shit. That's going to be hard to beat that one. Yeah. That's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, that was a throwback, and let's hope that we see, something reminiscent of Diego Corrales versus Jose Luis Castillo at 140 pounds. Let's see if we see that. Let's see if we see Gatti versus Ward at 140. Gogue, I'm looking forward to possibly seeing an instant classic once again, a real throwback with these two warriors. Guys, my hat's off to both of these fighters for making this fight possible and being willing to put everything on the line. This is what made us fans a long, long time ago. Matchups like this, style matchups like this, where everything is on the line. Credit to both warriors for doing it. Credit for Top Rank for staging it. Credit to ESPN for paying for it. Guys, stay tuned to ESPN for everything coming this fight week. Everything should get started. A hefty promotion starting tomorrow on Monday as you're listening to this show. But I tell you what, Gogue, let's hope it piggybacks off this past Saturday night on Showtime. Boy, it was a great one. And I tell you what, it's almost like Heyman, is finally being stood up by Steven Espinoza, and he's now starting to listen to the matchmaking prowess of a very smart boxing guy like Tom Brown. It was a tremendous triple header last night on Showtime. And in the main event of the evening, Brandon Figueroa passed his first major test as a professional, stopping Luis Nery Hernandez with a body shot in the 7th round. Gogue, I tell you what, were you impressed with Brandon Figueroa's pace and his creative combination punching in the inside?
His tenacity. Okay, remember, Joe, I thought he would box a little bit more this fight, then take it in the fight, take it to Nery as the fight went on, because Nery's a good puncher. Okay, but right off the bat, boy, he it reminded me of Julio Cesar Chavez when he fought Rosario back in '87. Chavez went right into the lion's den, man. Okay, didn't show no respect for Rosario's big bombs and everything, and that's what Figueroa did. His will, his determination, his will, his toughness, his combination punches up and down, his volume of combinations especially wore Nery down. And, like I said, one punch leads to the other, Joe. That right hook, that little short right hook he threw inside when he was from the southpaw position, and he came back with the left uppercut, set up that left uppercut to the liver, and, you know what I mean, pretty much ended the fight. But, yeah, he, congratulations to Brandon. I known Brandon since he was a little 11-year-old kid. I used to watch him fight in the amateurs in the Rio Grande Valley when I lived there. I had my guys used to spar him a lot, my amateurs, pros. When you spar Brandon, he spars like he fights. He brings the heat. So I always told my guys, hey, just, handle your business. When he put that pressure on you, don't let him back you up. Don't let him bully you, stay in the pocket and fight him tit for tat, okay? And he'll get you'll get his attention and respect. Whereas Nery, he's not a really good inside fighter. If Nery don't hurt you, okay, and his opponent like Brandon just keeps coming at you, eventually Nery's going to wear down. Nery didn't have really good really good inside fighting skills, man. He just threw punches, hoping one of his big bombs was going to land and hurt you like his other opponents. Then he'll take you out. But Brandon, he had that chin and that toughness, and just stick his head right in the the line of fire, and just started battled him. Took his best shots, got hurt, got wobbled a couple of times, but he had that grit, and that resiliency to battle back, and just kept on, like I said, pressure breaks pipes. If you can't handle a tough pressure fighter like Brandon, he's gonna break your pipes. And like I said, he's just a volume of combinations he throws at you and overwhelms you with. You know what I mean? That if you're not good at fighting in the pocket.
And Gogue, you pointed it out. I was really, really surprised at the lack of intelligence in combination punching in the inside from Nery. He just looked like a lumberjack going right to left, and it was very predictable. Brandon caught on after the third round and was doing the much more intelligent work on the inside, and it was noticeable. In fact, he started making Nery miss because it was so predictable, just going from right to left. Were you a bit surprised as to Nery's lack of inside game?
I wasn't surprised, man, Joe. I wasn't surprised. Not that, see, to be a great inside fighter, you got to be able to handle that type of pressure like a guy Brandon brings, okay? If you're a good inside fighter, you'll be able to, neutralize that pressure. You won't be pushed back or worn down by the volume of punches coming at you because you know how to handle all that stuff, man. Like I said, when I used to spar my amateurs, especially a guy named Pablo Ramirez, he was a two-time national Golden Glove champion. When I started training him, he couldn't fight in the pocket, so that's one thing I had to teach him. But once he started to learn how to fight in the pocket, I tell you what, when he fought Brandon, he could barely go 2 rounds with him. You know what I mean? But once I started teaching him in the pocket, 8 rounds. He was sparring Brandon 8 rounds, no problem. Handled Brandon's heat, the pressure he put on you, the volume of combinations. Oh, yeah. And Pablo's a little guy. Pablo was only 108 pounds. Brandon's a lot bigger. And Pablo, but the thing is, it's all about skill and technique, Joe, in fighting in the pocket. Well, you got to have balls and courage, too. You can't be scared. But once you get over that fear factor, Joe, it comes down to skill, technique, and IQ. And all my guys used to spar Brandon, man. No problem at all, man. But if you're not used to that type of heavy pressure he puts on you, boy, it's going to break your pipes, man. Yeah. And I don't think Nery got that type of sparring, okay? Guys that are, rugged like Figueroa that stays on you. I don't think he got that type of sparring to get him ready for a guy like Brandon. He probably had some other guys in the gym that, fought more at range, didn't put a lot of pressure on you, didn't throw a lot of punches at you, you know what I mean? And you fight a guy like Brandon, you better bring in a sparring partner like Brandon that's going to put that heat on you, okay? Because you got to be able to, you got to be able to learn how to deal with that pressure and everything. So, anyway, good win for Brandon. He's Rio Grande Valley's first authentic, first authentic world champion. So I don't, like I said, I don't respect the mother belts, the interim champion and all that bullshit. No. Brandon, he's the first legit world champion from the Rio Grande Valley.
Indeed. Congratulations to Mr. Brandon Figueroa, and I tell you what, it's for the Figueroa namesake. Boy, it was much needed. After his brother came up a cropper just 2 weeks prior, it seemed that Brandon Figueroa really had something to fight for, and he really pulled off a breakout performance against the incumbent champion, Luis Nery. Congratulations. So, Luis Nery, do you think he goes back down to 18 because he just looks completely outgunned and overmatched in a much bigger division at 122 pounds, Gogue?
If he gets back on the juice, yeah, probably.
In the co-main event, boy, I tell you what, if you didn't realize it, boy, you were reminded as to how crafty Daniel Roman truly is. The former 122-pound champion performed two-fisted surgery against Ricardo Espinoza in the co-main event of the evening, breaking him down methodically over 10 rounds and pulling some really beautiful creative combination punching on the inside, put on a boxing masterclass. Gogue, Daniel Roman, I want to see him in another title fight very soon, brother. Do you think he deserves, after this performance, another rematch with Agmadalia for the WBA title?
He deserves another shot, Joe. You can see, he's one of the best 122-pounders in the world. You know what I mean? And the difference in this fight, the other guy was tough as nails, boy. Tough as nails, strong will, determined, okay? And it looked like he's a good puncher, strong and can punch. But the difference was experience, championship experience, boxing IQ, and skill. Okay, Joe? It matters. It matters. And you saw the difference. As the fight went on, you could start seeing the differences in class, differences in levels of both fighters. And Roman, he has one of the best left uppercuts in the business. He throws it so natural. He throws it with great leverage, sharp and crisp. And when it hits you, it's going to hurt you and everything. But, yeah, it was his championship experience, his toughness, and his IQ that won that fight for Roman yesterday. Yeah, hell of a performance by Danny Boy. And, hopefully he gets another title shot and everything.
Yep, hopefully we see the babyface assassin another title opportunity very soon. But, Gogue, I almost forgot, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up, because Brandon Figueroa got past Luis Nery, but now, boy, later on this summer, he's going to be competing against Stephen Fulton in a unification bout for his WBO Super Bantamweight Championship. That's a much tougher assignment than Luis Nery. Stephen Fulton looks to be a complete fighter. Is Brandon Figueroa ready for this, his toughest fight of his pro career?
Of course. He's a champion now, the WBC champ. The other guy's a WBO champ, but yeah. Hey, man, this guy, Fulton, he's more of a natural 22-pounder than Nery is, so he'll be stronger to be able to handle those, that trench warfare Brandon Figueroa likes to put on you and everything. He showed in the Leo fight, surprised me that he could stay in the pocket and beat you at your old game, which he did Nery. But he can't be doing that with Figueroa the whole fight. No. He's got to do a combination of both. Use his great athleticism, his great footwork, and the inside game, okay? Combination of both and do it intelligently. And, this guy has, he brings more dimensions to the game than Figueroa. He's quick-handed, too. He's got the edge. You'll see it in the fight. He's got fast, quick hands and everything. And, I don't think Brandon's going to see those punches coming at him and everything. You know what I mean? And if what's-his-name fights intelligently with angles, fighting at angles, too, he's going to get Brandon even more problems and everything. But if he just tries to make it just stand in the pocket the whole fight and go tit for tat like he did against Leo, well, the playing field evens up, okay? He's got to do a combination of both and work angles. And when you fight a guy like Brandon, man, angles are easy to work. He's right there. All you do is, sidestep or, step at an angle, then put your combinations together and everything. So, it's going to be a good fight, though. Figueroa, hey, just still, you're going to, I'm tired of all these fucking champions out there, okay? Let's just get one out there, one champion, and then you'll know, then the fans out there will know who's the best, okay? And instead of these, I don't know, the WBA with their 4 champions in each weight division, the WBC, same shit. The WBO and the IBF is not as bad. But anyway, let's just, we need shit like this, Joe, to make boxing legitimate, okay?
Indeed.
We need this shit.
I tell you what, and we would be remiss, again, if we did not bring up the opening bout of the broadcast, which really set the tone for the entire televised fight card. congratulations to Xavier Martinez at 135 pounds. Boy, and that was a tremendous fight versus the veteran Juan Carlos Mini Burgos. Got a UD10, and you know what? This is something that I get tired of really discussing, because the fans didn't seem to appreciate the scorecards, because all three judges had it in favor of Xavier Martinez 9 rounds to 1. And guys, it's just a hole in the scoring system. The bout was give and take, and it was competitive overall as a whole. But if you're scoring each individual round, you could make a case for for Martinez winning 9 or 8 rounds in that fight. I don't see why everyone had such a huge problem with this. Gogue, I'll tell you what, did it surprise you that Burgos pulled one out of his pocket and really was game that night?
Oh, surprised the shit out of me, because when you got a veteran like him, took the fight on 20 days' notice, I thought he was just going to show up, give a few good rounds and call it a day, you know what I mean, and just collect his paycheck and go off into the sunset. But, oh, boy, he came in with a renewed purpose. He wanted he wanted to win, and good thing that Martinez is ready. He was in good condition, okay? Because if he wasn't prepared, I know his trainer real well, Ray Woods, Diego Corrales' stepdad. I used to work with him and Diego when they were in the amateurs and everything. He's an excellent trainer, okay, probably the best trainer in Sacramento area, no doubt. And I know he got him prepared and everything, because Ray, he's a hard-nosed trainer, boy. All you got to do is look into Diego, man. He believes in, like me, mental toughness. He believes in resiliency, mental intestinal fortitude, and he instills it in this fighter. And you saw last night that heat that Burgos brought on him. You know what I mean? If he wasn't ready, he would have lost. He would have lost. So I got to commend Ray. Great job he did getting this guy ready, and the kid. The kid needs a lot of guys go, oh man, that's too tough of a fight. Why do they put him in a fight like this? Hey, you need fights like this, man, to get you better. You need that type of resistance. You need a guy, coming at you and testing your mental intestinal fortitude, okay? Your mental toughness, your composure and poise. Xavier did a tremendous job keeping this calm and cool, you know what I mean, on all the storms that were thrown at him by Burgos, especially on the ropes. You see him on the ropes, Joe? He was nice and relaxed, calm, countering, like AKA James Toney, slipping and countering, catching them coming in. Only thing he should have done, Joe, he headhunted the whole fight. He should have been ripping this fucker's bodies, slowing them down. A veteran like that, Joe, they don't take punches good to the body. They might take them good to the head, but you keep on hitting them to the body, they'll start feeling the effects of those body shots, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds, you know what I mean? And it would have made the fight so much easier for Xavier. Plus his jab, Joe, he doesn't have a real good stinging jab to get your fight, to get his opponent's attention. It's more like a long touch, quick jab with nothing behind it. You got to have, he's got to work on that, that power jab, like a Golovkin jab. You know what I mean? That once you keep getting hit by that, it's like getting hit by right hands. You know what I mean? So he's got stuff like that. But more body punches. Yeah, when you're fighting these tough Mexican fighters, whether they're veterans or young guys, you got to tap that damn body to slow them down. Yep. They might take punches to the head good, but if you keep tapping that body, eventually that rock, which means their head, is going to crack. Okay, but you got to take some of that energy out of them. You got to take their legs out of them, and the best way to do that is the body shot. So all that stuff like that is learning experiences and everything. And he was like I said, if he wasn't prepared, he would have lost that fight. Yeah, Ray did an excellent job in of preparing this kid. And now he's got to stay in the gym. You know what I mean? I just heard. You know what I mean? He's got to stay in the gym and get better off this performance, meaning getting in better conditions and improving in his craft. Like I said, working on body punches, working on developing the IQ on how to break tough Mexican fighters that come at you. Break them down. See, Joe, when you're breaking your opponent down, it's just not just throwing body punches, man. You got to know how to do it. You got to have the IQ to do it. Know when to throw those body punches, okay? Knowing when your opponent's slowing down by reading his nonverbal language of his body. The motherfucker ain't going to tell you, oh, my God, you're hurting me with body shots. You'll see it in his expressions. His legs are not as, springy. He slows down. He's not aggressive in his attack. You know what I mean, Joe? And guess what, Joe? When you hit the guy to the body, when you start taking away his legs, he don't have that snap on his punches. His punches are not as hard. Okay, all those signs, Joe. The good veterans know that, man. When they break it down, okay, they know that they're doing it effectively, and that's what he's got to do is develop an IQ on how to break tough Mexican opponents down. It's IQ, Joe. Like I said, this is a game of boxing IQ, skills. And what do you call it? Good tactical maneuvers.
Indeed. I tell you what, it made for a great fight on Saturday night. Really set the tone for the entire fight card. In my opinion, Gogue, this is the best event we've seen on Showtime in quite some time. It was absolutely breathtaking. All three fights were tremendous. So, credit to Tom Brown for putting it all together. Credit to Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza for finally listening to the voices of reason.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. So we look forward to seeing the future of all three winners in the televised portion of the fight card. And I received a couple of messages, not many, but a couple of messages asking us why we didn't discuss Joshua Buatsi and Daniel Dos Santos on DAZN. Why we didn't even discuss that fight? And
tell the motherfucker to fight somebody and we'll discuss it, okay?
I think everyone saw why we didn't bother discussing that, Gogue. That was a disgusting mismatch, brother.
Tell him to fight somebody, then we'll talk about him, all right? That guy was garbage.
That's right, and that was your main event on DAZN, guys. Joshua Buatsi, congratulations in stopping Daniel Dos Santos, but he didn't, put forth. It was a complete difference in levels, Gogue. And Joshua Buatsi, we really don't know what we have because he hasn't fought anyone yet. He's number 13 ranked light heavyweight in the world, but when's he going to fight somebody? Gogue, your scouting report. You want to give a brief scouting report in just a minute for Joshua Buatsi?
Yeah, Joe, that's the first time I've seen him fight last night. He looked like he's got some athletic ability. He's got some talent, okay? Virgil's training him now, so, he's going to make him a much better effective boxer from range and distance, okay, like Ward. Boxing IQ, his boxing IQ will get better, but Jesus, how the hell you can see I can see his natural athleticism and all that stuff, but I want to see, like I said, I want to see if he's a fighter. I heard he had his last fight. He had it was pretty tough, and he had some adversity to overcome and all that, but I didn't see it. But I just think the kid, he's an Olympian, deep amateur pedigree and all that. He's 28 years old. Hey man, it's time to step the fuck up, man. Start fighting some guys that are really going to give him a fight. Like they were mentioning, Sullivan Barrera. That's a good fight for him. I mean, there's other guys out there he could fight that will give him that professional resistance he needs, like
Anthony Yard would be a good one.
Night. Yeah, they're out there. They just gotta put the shit together.
That's right. Well, Gogue, that's we're pretty much at the end of the line. Is there anything that you'd like to add? Any parting shots for our listening audience?
Tune in next Saturday night. Potential Fight of the Year candidate. It's going to be hard to top Chocolatito and Estrada, but Jesus, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
Guys, he's James Gogue. You can hear him every single Sunday on War Week Radio. I tell you what, Gogue, we're in for a great one, man. So, guys, tune in this Saturday night. But that's going to just about do it. Guys, on behalf of James Gogue, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to War Week Radio Network. In case you missed any part of the show, subscribe to our YouTube page, War Week Radio on YouTube. Check it out, guys. And thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week, everybody.